Cool. So again, we're gonna watch this video, create a double bubble map on it. So let me go ahead and play it fairly quickly. And this is where you'll turn it, and you can do it on paper if you'd like, and then just take a picture of it and submit it. That's probably the easiest way to do this. So
today we're going to be taking a look at some of the basic tools in Adobe InDesign to help you get started. Okay, so if you're familiar with Photoshop and Illustrator, you may find this a little bit easier. If you're not, that's absolutely fine. So we've got the arrow tool over here. This is used for selecting objects. We've got the direct selection tool, which is used for selecting parts of objects. So if I just create a shape here, so this is black. You see the arrow tool, I can move this shape around.
You want me to turn off the lights?
With the direct selection tool, I can click on individual points, and I can pull those around and edit them. That's the main difference between those two selection tools. Then you've got the type tool. If you left click and hold, you get the type on a path tool as well. For the type tool, you simply left click drag to draw the text box, and then you can type within this text box. And then when it hits the edge, it will wrap onto the line below. And then when I go back and I adjust the size of the text box, you'll see that it adjusts the line break accordingly. Now if I want to type on a path, let's just use the pen tool and draw the shape. So there's my path I've created, and then I can select the type on a path tool, click the plus, so there we go, I can click that, and then I can type. I get the type along that path. Okay? Then got the line tool, which is pretty self-explanatory. It just allows you to draw lines. And you can select a colour and then increase or decrease the weight of that line. I've got the pencil. If you left click and hold, you'll see you get the same options as you do in Photoshop and Illustrator. So you can use the pen tool to create unique, weird and wonderful shapes, and then join it up and add a fill. Okay, and similarly to Adobe Illustrator, you have your main fill here, and then the one behind is your stroke blur outline. So if I select this, you'll see I've got a black fill and no outline. If I select the outline and then pick yellow and then increase the weight here, you'll see that it changes the outline as well. And then I can go and get rid of the fill if I want to and leave just the outline. Next we've got our pencil tool. I can draw a freehand shape. And then again just select a colour. Increase the weight of the stroke. I'm not sure exactly what that's meant to be, but yeah. Now because I've drawn this freehand, you can see it isn't particularly smooth and it's a bit kind of crooked and looks a bit awkward in places. So if I select this and left click on the pencil tool, go to the smooth tool, just kind of left clicking, dragging and running over this, as you can see it's smoothing out. And look at this one here. It's smoothed out. The more I left click and just go over these areas, the more it smooths out these kind of jagged points into more of a curve. And I can also left click and select the erase tool and just erase the points on the shape like this. Next we've got the rectangle tool, ellipse tool and the polygon tool. And you can left click anywhere on the page, specify your width and height and click OK. Same with the polygon tool, you can specify the number of sides. So if I set 6, we create something that looks like this. And then you can adjust it as you like. And again, the direct selection tool, we can then click on this point and bring them in if you wanted to, or push them out. So that tool is really good for editing the individual points on a shape. We've also got the placeholder shape here. So if you've got some imagery or some photography that you're going to drop in, or you're just mocking up wireframes, you can just place that there. And it will just have a big X in the middle. So you won't be able to see it in the final print view. If you press W, switch between the two, you can see it in this view, and it just signifies that there's going to be some content going there. And then when you've got the content, if it's a photograph or an image, you can just left click, go to File, Place, and then just select File, and then it will hand it into it. Okay. So we've got the scissor tool. You can click on that. And this allows you to click and create a point, and then almost cut into it. It's a bit of a strange one, and it probably takes a bit of kind of just practicing with it and playing with it to kind of really understand how it works. It's not something that I use particularly often, but I have used it in the past. It's quite a bizarre tool, as you can probably tell from whatever on earth that is that I've just created. But let's create another shape. And we've got the scale tool here and the rotate. So free transform tool just allows us to edit the shape, nothing particularly special there. Rotate tool, as the name suggests, allows you to rotate the shape. The rotation can also be adjusted up here, so we can get to 90. We've also got the scale tool, which allows you to scale it up or scale it down. And lastly, we've got the shear tool, which allows you to shear it left to right, like that. And that shear setting can also be adjusted up here in this box, underneath rotation. Let me do that. And just a couple more left to go. So we've got the gradient tool. So similarly to Illustrator, you can just select your gradient over here on the right in the palette, and then just drag to create a gradient. And then this one here is a gradient that runs to a fade. So you can do the same again. So let's do that in solid color so you can see. So if I apply that here, see it just fades that pink out to nothing. Just to show you that there's no, it's not fading to white, it's fading to transparency. I'm just going to put that yellow underneath so you can see that it's fading to nothing. Or yellow, because the yellow's on there. Okay. And we've got the hand tool, which lets you move the document around. Not particularly exciting. We've got the zoom tool, which lets you zoom in and out. Again, not that exciting. The eyedropper tool is quite handy. So if you have a shape or an image or anything with a color on it and you don't know what that color is, you can click it and it will select it here and tell you. By double clicking this, it will give you the reference numbers or the CMYK values, whatever you need, and you can potentially go and create a color swatch from that. Okay, so those are the most important basic shapes in Adobe InDesign. I hope that was helpful. If it was, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.
This video was brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Alright, cool. So, like I said, not a really hard day today. Remember, you are going to be making a double level map on this video, and you're basically going to be comparing and contrasting me and Coach Price. But the Hurricanes are spiraling out of control, it feels like to me. Well, not really. Yeah, I'm getting a little concerned. But we played James Reimer, and I don't know why, because our goalie coach is an idiot. Anyway, um, sorry for the off-topic comment. But yes, so this will be on the next 6 weeks, so no worries about that. But go ahead and get it done today. There's no point in not. But again, you're really just comparing Trash Illustrator um, to what you have learned about InDesign. So that being said, you have the rest of the day to create this bubble map. I would like for there to at least be 3 items on this side, 3 items on this side, and 3 in the middle. If you can add more, that's great. And it might help you out if one of these is kind of not as good. So kind of give yourself some room for improvement. Um, so that being said, are there any questions from people? Yes, sir. The notes you turned in yesterday, if you go to modules, right down here in design notes, section 7. Instruction in design. Any other questions about anything else? Doesn't have to be about this. Grades, anything? Updated grades. I don't know if you saw the announcement. Grades are updated. There's not a lot of grades for the 6 weeks, so it really shouldn't be hard to have a good grade. So that being said, but this is the last thing, this InDesign notes. So make sure, a lot of you had to turn that in, so make sure you turn that in like right now. And then you're just going to be working on this. So all right, if there's no more questions, I'm going to stop the screen share and stop the recording. Have a great day. Make sure you get anything you're missing in, because that'll be due this Friday.